Hi, my name is Georgia from BIEN Australia. I'm a physiotherapist and expert in pelvic floor physiotherapy, and today I'm going to take you through a mobility flow that can be useful for vaginismus, vulvodynia, or just general pain around the pelvis. So we're focusing on the hips and the lower back and the abdomen today. So all you need is a couple of pillows or a yoga bolster. You don't need them necessarily, but they can be good if the depth of stretch is a little bit too much. We're going to start today in a child's pose. So just come down into this child's pose position. Your heels can be together, bum resting on your heels, and then just drop your head down towards the mat. Let's just start by taking 3 really deep breaths in, really expanding the rib cage laterally, letting the belly fall open, and then a nice big encompassing exhale, letting everything go, letting go of the tension from your day, letting your mind settle onto the mat. Another nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. Letting go of the tension in your jaw, your forehead. Another breath in. And a nice deep breath out. Good. Then we're just going to walk our hands forward and lift our hips up towards the ceiling so that we're coming into this puppy pose, this puppy position here where the hips are nice and high. Upper back is giving a little bit of a extension stretch through there. Dropping the head or the forehead down towards the mat and just taking another deep breath in. And all the way out. One more in. All the way out. Good, then walk those hands back underneath your shoulders so that your hands are about hip width distance apart. Bring the knees in a little bit if you need to. And then we're just going to come into a few cat-cows. So we're going to drop the chest towards the ground, arch through the lower back, lift the neck up towards the ceiling if that feels okay. And then turn the body the other way. So bringing your back up towards the ceiling, really pushing the floor away with your arms. Nice big inhale drops you down, looking up towards the ceiling, broadening through the collarbones. And the other way, tucking the tailbone under, drawing the rib cage towards your hips as you come up. Good, and then we're going to bring the hips back towards the heels again, and this time you're just going to walk one leg forward. So you're going to bring the left leg forward so that you're in this low lunge position. We're just going to hang out here for a little while, just do some movement through the hips here. So you might do some circles around clockwise and then anti-clockwise. You might choose to be still in this position depending on what you feel like your body needs in this moment. Hands can be on the inside of that leg, or you can be framing that front foot depending on what you feel comfortable with. Good, and then let's bring this leg back and let's do the same thing on the other side. So right leg comes forward, little circles with the knee, just creating a little bit of movement if you feel like that feels good, or just staying still if you feel like you need some more stillness. Good, and then bringing that leg back again. Then you're going to separate the knees about hip width distance again. Turn the feet and the shins out towards the side, and we're just going to start to move the hips forward and backwards in that motion. So if that feels a little bit gross for your knees, then for sure you can bring them back to that train track position. But if we want to make it a little bit more challenging for the hips, bringing those shins out will give you a little bit more of a tight stretch, a tight pinch maybe through the hip bones. Just moving forward and back as far as you feel comfortable. And we've got 4 more like this. Make sure you're moving your breath, not holding or stagnating the air anywhere. For 2 and 1. Good, then coming back in. We're going to bring the knees in, the feet in this time, and then we're going to walk in a straight line, one knee and one shin out to the side, so they're both out to the side. You can let them slide as far out as you feel comfortable doing, and then bring your upper body towards the ground. Now, this is a good position that if you have a bolster or a pillow available to you, you can slide it in between your legs or in between your upper body and just kind of lay flat onto it so that you're not having to support your upper body. So getting into a position like this can be really nice to let the adductors relax a little bit more, let the hips open, let the belly drop. If that's feeling quite intense, then you can always bring your heels closer together, or you can always stack 2 bolsters or have another pillow underneath. If you feel like you need to be a little bit higher, let's just take 3 deep breaths here. Good. And then to get up out of this position, we take the weight in the hands first, and then one at a time we walk those knees back in towards the midline. Keep that yoga bolster there if you feel like you might need it again, because the next stretch that we're going to do is quite intense for the hips as well. So we're going to walk that left leg forward again like we had done before. The option for sure is to use this bolster for a little bit more height. But what we're going to do here is rotate towards that left-hand side. So if you're with me, we're going to put a hand on the ground. If you need a little bit less height, you've got a hand on a bolster, yoga block, or a couple of pillows. So we're just rotating through the torso, rotating through the thoracic spine and reaching up towards the ceiling. Really taking deep breaths in and out as you exhale, trying to bend or twist a little bit further. And as you inhale, just softening into the stretch, trying to let go of the glutes, the hips, the pelvis, the pelvic floor. One more deep breath here. And then bringing that hand back towards the ground. This time frame that front foot, and we're going to walk the foot to the opposite side of our body and drop that knee down towards the ground. So again, the bolster can come in handy here underneath the hip if you feel like you need it. We're coming into a pigeon pose. So this bolster could go underneath my left bum cheek if I feel like I needed a little bit more height. Or otherwise it can come down underneath the forehead if you feel like you need some support through the upper body. If this is too much of an intense stretch for the legs, then this back leg can always come in and bend, and you can fold forward over that front leg. If you're with me, we're in this full extended position, and then we're bringing the head, the upper body and the chest down towards the mat, and really thinking about relaxing through the glutes, through the hips and through the pelvic floor. What's your jaw doing? What are your shoulders doing? As there's some discomfort through the hips, through the pelvis and through the glutes, is that making you want to tense up other parts of your body? Couple more seconds here. Stay with it. Try and soften. Let go of your glutes. Let go of your tummy. Good, and then slowly lifting your chest up, bringing that leg back into a 4-point kneeling position, and we're going to straight away swap sides. So we're going to bring that right leg forward. Again, that bolster can be used for a little bit more height if you need to. And this time we're rotating towards the opposite leg. So rotating towards that right side, really pushing that hip down forward, rotating that torso up towards the ceiling. Nice big inhale relaxes you. Nice big exhale, can you twist further? One more big breath. Good, and then coming back down and in, we're walking that right foot this time across your mat so that your knee can drop towards the ground and your leg can straighten up. The option, as always, is to bend that back knee. Otherwise, if you're with me, we're folding down towards the ground. Letting that glute soften, letting it relax, thinking about your jaw, your shoulders. And really trying to figure out where the tension is. So for me, it's really in that right glute. It feels a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit pinchy, and I'm straight away thinking, I can't wait to get out of this position. So if that's you as well, just think about you're only going to be here for another 10 or so seconds. How can I soften? How can I relax? I'm safe. I'm not going to injure myself. And just really see if you can surrender into that tightness and that stretch that you're feeling. Good, and then slowly come out of that position. Then we're going to sit onto the bum cheek this time, and we're going to roll over onto our back and come into our final pose, which is just a happy baby. So using that bolster, if it was already at the front of your mat, you can put it as a pillow underneath your head, or you can just lie completely on the ground. You can either bring your knees in towards your chest for a half happy baby, or if it feels comfortable, we're coming on the inside of the knee, outside of the foot, and then pulling those knees in towards your hips or armpits as it feels comfortable. And again, just taking some big, deep, encompassing breaths. You can stay in this position for as long as you need, for as long as it feels good, or you might want to finish with a breath practice in this diamond butterfly position. So do whatever feels right for your body. Thanks for taking the time to do some pelvic mobility with me. It's nice, quick, easy flow that you should be able to fit into your day most of the time. If you enjoyed it, let us know. If you want more videos like this, you can head to BIEN.com.au.